I'm Gemma Bonham-Carter. I am a business strategist and coach known for turning entrepreneurs into highly successful course creators. This channel is for everyone building that dream business. I'm here to show you how to create, launch, and sell your online course. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video. Today, I want to talk to you about the biggest mistake I see most new course creators making, and that is they forget to pre-sell their programs. Before we dive on into this video, I want to make sure that you snag a seat at my free masterclass. The link is right below this video. It is a 60-minute jam-packed class where I'm giving over some of my best tips and tricks for launching your first profitable online course, so don't miss it. All right, let's dive into today's topic. I want to talk to you about pre-selling. Now, you might be sitting there thinking like, Gemma, what are you even talking about? What is pre-selling? So the whole idea behind pre-selling your online course or any kind of program or new digital product you're creating is that you don't want to put the cart before the horse. So what you want to do is you want to create a prototype of what your course is going to look like. What is it going to include? What is that transformation or the thing that you're really teaching your students? Where are they when they first come into your course? Where are they going to be when they go through the program and implement everything? What are those results? What does that after look like? What are the steps that you're going to take on how to get there? So I want you to craft the prototype of your offer, but you haven't actually created it yet. You haven't gone and recorded modules 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? You've just outlined that map of what your course is going to include. At that point, once you've done that and you have a really strong offer created, then you're going to actually get students to enroll in that program. At that point, you have everything you need there in order to sell the program. So you want to go out there and get students in at that point before you've started to actually put all the work into creating the program. So I want to tell you why this is so important. And I have made this mistake before. I did it in the beginning of my own kind of course creation journey. And it's that you think you know what your audience is going to want. You think you have this really great idea. And so you pour hours and hours and hours into creating a program, into recording lessons and modules and putting it all together and buying fancy software and doing all the things. And then you put it out into the world and you get crickets, or at least just a very small number of buyers, which is what happened with me with my first course. And it really tanks. And you realize, I should have validated that idea a little bit more, because then you have to basically throw it out and often start fresh. And I can probably tell you most successful course creators today have that same story. They all made that mistake in the beginning too. And so I don't want you to go through the wasted weeks and months like I did. Fast forward after that first flop that I had, when I actually did go ahead and pre-sell a program, all I had recorded was the welcome video, but I knew what was going to be in there. I just hadn't created it yet. When I sold that vision and that idea to my audience, I had 40 students hop in just like that. And then I was able to create the content in real time for them. And that was a much better approach because I actually had market validation. I knew that the idea was a good one and that people were actually willing to spend dollars to be in it. So why do you want to pre-sell? Well, obviously we've talked about this. You don't want to waste time creating a course or any kind of program that ultimately isn't a good idea and isn't going to sell. The other thing is you get real-time feedback from that first group of students so that you can really make sure that you are creating a program that suits their needs. If you're dripping out lessons every single week and getting that real-time feedback, so your students are asking questions, they're implementing what you're teaching, maybe they're coming up against roadblocks along the way, you are able to make sure that you can maybe tweak your course map that you mapped out in the beginning, or add a few things here or there or change things out a little bit so that you are creating exactly the right program that ultimately is going to get your students results, because that's the most important thing. If you can get your students results, that's going to turn into testimonials. That's going to turn into a program that sells itself. So you ultimately want to really make sure that you're delivering an incredible program that gets people to that transformative after place. Now, the other thing that pre-selling allows you to do is just to really make sure that your offer resonates with your audience. It could be that you put together this first prototype, you put it out there into the world to try and sell it. Maybe it doesn't really work out so well. People aren't really jiving with it and aren't jumping in. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that you always have to start over. It could just be like a couple of key elements that you can tweak and come up with a new offer prototype and put it out into the world. And then the floodgates open and people are super attracted to it and jump right on in. So this pre-selling allows you to kind of test the waters a little bit. And I always tell my students and clients, like, just make offers, especially when you're starting in business. The more offers you can put out there and test the water and see people's reactions, the better. And I know that you've probably heard other entrepreneurs or gurus or mentors tell you to focus on like having one product and doing it really well and scaling it. And I do think that there is a time and a place to do that, absolutely. But when you're just starting, you might not nail it the first time. And so if you're going to focus on one, and that one isn't something that is really having an uptick in the marketplace and people aren't really interested in buying it, I don't want you to waste your time on it. I want you to keep testing other offers, because you are going to land on the one where you're like, oh, this is what people really want to buy from me. And then you can go ahead and focus and scale. The other thing is, I want you to get paid. I want you to get paid for spending your time creating the course. If you are able to do a pre-sale and have students jump in at that founding kind of time and pay you right up front, well, then you've earned income that can kind of like justify you spending the time creating those lessons, putting together the modules, creating that whole course offer, right? It's like you're getting paid up front to deliver. Also, if you do need to invest, let's say in some course software, maybe you need to buy a new microphone or something like that to record your videos, whatever it is, if you've made some money up front, you can reinvest that into your business so that you can carry out, the production of your course. And let's be real, it does not take much to produce a course. There is like a lot of free software out there that you can use. Really, you just need a webcam and a microphone and you're good to go. But if you can get paid up front, it can help with some of those costs. The other thing that is so crucial with a pre-sale and why you want to do a pre-sale is to get those testimonials and case studies and stories from your founding students. So with this first round, when you have that first round of students go through your course, and it's that founding student round, and you're really pouring yourself in, you're creating this content for them in real time and dripping it out to them over the course of whether it's 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, however long your course is, you're just pouring yourself into them. You're probably going to be answering too many questions, doing probably a lot of like one-on-one chit chat with your students. And that's okay. You're not necessarily going to have to do that forever. But for this first round, it's so important to over-deliver in your students so that they are engaged, they do the work, and then ultimately get the results that you want them to get and achieve the thing you want them to achieve, because they are going to turn into amazing case studies and testimonials, give you those great reviews, and that is what you're going to need to then go and launch your course again and rinse and repeat and launch over and over and over again, and then move into even evergreen funnels, which we can get into another time. But those case studies and social proof are so critically important. We've all been in a situation where we're thinking about buying a program maybe, and we're on the sales page and we're scrolling through. And if there are some incredible stories of students who have just had amazing results from taking that program, I don't know about you, but I'm way more likely to purchase that course if I've seen that social proof and I know it's worked for other people. And that's what you want for your program too. It's one of the most crucial elements of having an offer that converts is having that social proof. So that's why you want to pre-sale. Now let's talk a little bit about how you actually do it. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you create an incredible offer prototype. I want you to survey and engage with your audience, whether that's on Instagram, on your email list, in a Facebook group, wherever it is that you're cultivating an audience. I want you to really be talking with them so that you are creating a course offer prototype based on what they've said, based on their feedback. The more you can listen to your audience and listen what their needs are, what they're struggling with, where they want to go, you have such a better sense of how you can help them. And so create a program based on what they've said in that engagement. That part can feel really scary for a lot of people. It can be scary to like talk with your audience, but it's so important and it's a missing piece that a lot of people skip over. Once you've done that and you've sort of taken it all in and crafted this course map, as I like to call it. So we have an idea. The most simplistic way that we can envision this is you have the before of where your student is before they come into your program. You have the after of what the result looks like, what they want to achieve. And then you've kind of mapped out all the things that you need to teach them to get them to that after point. And so you also have this statement of transformation, like what it is that people are really going to experience when they've gone through your course. So you have that. Now you need to put a sales page together. And honestly, simple is okay here. You do not need to have the giant, long form, beautifully designed sales page, especially if you have a core, warm audience who like already trust you. I have had students who've put a sales page together in a Google Doc, and it's just a really well-written sales page that's a really clear, has a really clear outline of what the course and the offer is all about and what's going to be included, and has all of those features really detailed in there. That can totally work. This is our founding student launch. It doesn't have to have all the bells and whistles. If you want to give it the bells and whistles, go for it. Create a beautiful long form sales page that really identifies, what the course is going to be all about. Then in order to actually sell your course, I really love to use webinars. And the reason why I love webinars is because A, they build your email list. B, it allows you to connect so much better with your potential student. If you can get them on a video format for 45 minutes, tell a bit of your story and really build yourself up as the expert in your niche, but then teach them like some really great value, and then have the opportunity to tell them about your program, show them all of the features and the details of your program. It's like this amazing trifecta of like relationship building, teaching, and pitching all in one. And it gives them the opportunity to ask questions. That's what I love doing on webinars, is like really making sure people feel heard and like I'm there for them, because that is ultimately what I want people to experience when they come into my courses and my programs. I am there for them. I care about them. I'm there supporting them. I don't ghost the students who purchase my courses. And so you want to give that feeling right off the bat in your webinar. So I use a webinar to pre-sell my programs. The other thing you can do is to hop on one-to-one sales calls. Like you could do calls over Zoom. You can also just have DM conversations with people. I know tons of entrepreneurs who have a really deep relationship with a lot of their Instagram followers, and they're able to just get into a lot of great one-on-one conversations in the DMs and like sell their programs in a really non-sleazy kind of way, in a way that's really coming from a place of service and a place of value, and actually sell their programs in the DMs. So you can kind of pick and choose. You can do all of those things or pick and choose what resonates the best for you. But ultimately, you're doing a bit of a live launch, and you are launching a course, and you're just being really clear about the fact that this is the founding student launch. It's a brand new program. You want all of that language to be really evident. You want to explain to them that it's going to be over the course of whether that's 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks, whatever is a realistic time frame for you to actually drip out the content week over week. And you want to make it clear that they're getting a great price. Usually the founding students of a brand new program get a hefty discount. It's usually like 50% off of what you're envisioning the final price is going to be for your program. So let's say you're envisioning $1,000 course. Well, the founding students in your program might get it for like $497 or something like that, because you don't have all of the case studies and testimonials yet to really sell this program. You don't have all of the bonuses necessarily, or all the bells and whistles built out for your course yet. So your people, your audience, are taking a bit of a leap of faith with you. and you have to reward them for that. And that is by giving them a great price, and also by making sure that you're kind of over delivering on, the delivery of the course. So you just want to be clear and realistic about the timelines when you are doing a pre-sale, and then ultimately over deliver the heck out of it for those initial founding students. And once you've worked through it with them, let's say it's a 6-week program, at the end of the 6 weeks, they've come through the course, you have some great, do an exit survey at that point with your students, get those testimonials. You could even hop on one-to-one calls with the students at the end of the program to really get feedback on how they felt about the course and what they got out of it. And then you can move on to the next elements of becoming a really successful course creator, which is doing live launches, creating an evergreen funnel, and really building out and scaling this course business now that you've created the program. So that's the scoop on pre-selling. I would love to know in the comments below this video if you've pre-sold a program before, if you're now gonna go and pre-sell. I would love to hear more about the course you are selling. And don't forget to go sign up for that masterclass. The link is GemmaBonham-Carter.com/course-class. I have so many good tips wrapped up in that on-demand masterclass. You aren't gonna wanna miss it. That's it for me. I'll see you in the next video for more tips and strategies on growing your digital business.